What's happening, Wargamers? Welcome to another Dossier, the Marvel Crisis Protocol show, where we talk about all things Crisis Protocol characters, their cards, their sculpts, character sculpts, and all that sort of great stuff, and just share some general opinions on them. These are just conversations meant to kind of get you thinking about these characters, so we highly encourage you to go in and check out some other discussions, because there's lots of really great ones out there. Very happy to be bringing you this week one of the upcoming releases for the Web Warriors, the Scarlet Spider. So we're going to go take a look at that. But remember, before we do that, if you want to support the channel, hit up patreon.com/AegisBrandStudios. A couple bucks a month, excuse me, keeps the lights on, keeps new content coming, and most importantly, feeds my dog. So thank you so much for that, especially to everyone who is basically everyone who's a patron subscriber for that one, especially the producer, the one and only Spider-Man himself. And of course, you can also go to iwargame.net and use code AegisBrand to save 10% on a pre-marked battle map for both MCP and Shatterpoint. Anyway, let's take a look at the Scarlet Spider here. So let's get him up here and get him. So right off the hop, I gotta say, I absolutely adore this model. I think it's probably one of the coolest ones that they've released so far. There's a simplicity to it, but there's also a lot of motion to it. The fact that the cenotaph is being broken before he throws it at something is just great. He's got that forward momentum. He's looking to basically get in there and use his momentum to toss it forward. Everything is just fluid and screams motion. Absolutely love it. As far as the model himself, really great pose, very easy to put together. I love the dynamic aspect of it. Lots of really good details in the folds of his hoodie. The musculature, again, really, really solid details. Made it very easy to paint him up. I just managed to get into the zone with him, and it was super. I'm going to see if I can get this close enough and get it in focus. No, I don't think I'm going to be able to here. The details on the spider on his hoodie as well, very crisp in there, very easy to get in there and paint up. I had absolutely no problems with painting up the Scarlet Spider at all. No real notes on it. Great model, probably one of my favorite they've released to this day as far as the Scarlet Spider goes. Now, as far as his card goes, what does he bring to the table here? Well, he is Scarlet Spider, Ben Reilly. He's got 4 physical defense, 3 energy, 3 mystic. He's got 6 stamina on his healthy, 5 on his injured. He is a 4 threat size 2 medium mover. Pretty basic for a 4 threat character. Nothing that really stands out as being absolutely amazing on that one. 11 stamina overall. It's not the greatest, but at the same time, it's not awful given that he does have the sort of the Web Warrior defensive suite going with him. He's got his Scarlet Strike, which is a range 2, 5 dice for 0 power. It's your typical builder attack. It has a wild hit elusive, so he's able to advance short if he gets that trigger in after an attack. Really nice way of kind of popping in there, doing some damage and getting out. He's got a physical attack impact webbing, which is a gainer for 1 power. Range 4, 4 dice for 0 power. Gains 1 power just after the attack is done with a wild push. Size 2 or less. We've seen this on a bunch of other Spider people. Very, very good staple of the Web Warriors right there. And then we have another physical attack. Whatever a Spider can. Range 2, 8 dice for 5 power. We've seen this on ASM, so really cool to see this on Scarlet Spider. After the attack is resolved, the character may advance medium. So right off the hop, lots of different ways for him to move around the table, which is really cool. Then it's got the Wild Catch. After this attack is resolved, you may choose an interactive terrain feature of size 2 or less within 3 of this character and destroy it. The target character suffers a collision as if the terrain feature were thrown into it. Now, this one's really cool because you can actually resolve the catch after you resolve the medium advance. So if you don't have a piece of terrain that's appropriate to toss at them immediately within range, you are able to move first and then get it thrown off. So really, really cool. I dig this on ASM, even though I don't get it off very often. I really like it on Scarlet Spider on a 4 threat character, being able to destroy a little bit of terrain, getting that extra little bit of damage through. Really, really kind of nice, especially considering after an 8-die attack, maybe the extra damage or 2 that goes through from this one, from them flubbing a dodge roll, is what's needed to take them out. Next up, we move into a superpower. So we have an active Web Whip for 2 power. Choose an enemy character within 3 in line of sight. Push it towards this character short, then place this character within 1 of the enemy character. Can only be used once per turn. I love this. Not only does it displace the enemy character, but it actually gives you a little bit of movement as well. And range 3 plus the range 1, like that is a lot of space that Ben is moving up and around the table. So really, really kind of cool. I like that a lot. Then we have Proportionate Strength of a Spider, another active ability for 3. Choose an enemy character size 3 or less within range 3 and throw it short. It can only be used once per turn. We've seen this on other characters. Once again, it is a character throw, size 3, really nice. 3 power, again, really nice. That medium range, that range 3, very nice. Would have been nice if it was maybe a medium range throw, but I will live with this. This is perfectly good. It's a nice little way of just generating an extra little bit of damage with the Scarlet Spider. Next up, we have his Spider Sense. It's an innate ability. When this character is defending against a physical or energy attack or making a dodge roll, you can reroll up to 2 of its defense or dodge dice. We've seen this on a bunch of other web warriors. Nothing really fancy out of expectations there. And then lastly, he has Wall Crawler. So that is his power suite right there. Very, very kind of typical for a web warrior character. Now, his box does come with a couple tactics cards as well that aren't specific to him, but we're going to go over them because they do come with them. First off, we have Masked Menace. It is a web warrior's reactive card. During the power phase, up to 3 allied web warrior characters can spend 1 power each to play this card. For each character that played this card, place a camera token onto the battlefield not within 3 of another camera. While within 3 of a camera token, allied characters gain 1 additional power when they deal damage to an enemy character with an attack or superpower. Remove all camera tokens from the battlefield during the next cleanup phase. It doesn't sound like a lot, but when you look at the different ways that the web warriors have of dealing some damage in there through their own attacks, their throws, I wonder if catch would be a simple, a different instance of damage right there. But you can potentially be getting 2-3 extra power off of attacks that you do with your web warriors, or even just your team in general. Great way of powering your team up. Really, really kind of cool. I'm actually a big fan of this card. I think it's really neat, and I think there's a good argument for it to be making it into web warrior lists. Next up, we have Clone Saga. Now, sadly, this one is not as interesting. Well, rather, it's not as useful as the other. It is a Web Warriors active card. An allied Web Warriors character may spend 2 power to play this card. Choose an enemy character with the same name or alter ego as the character that played this card. The character that played this card gains the superpower shown below. Imposter Syndrome, an innate ability. When attacking the chosen character, the character that played this card can modify or reroll skull results and may reroll any number of dice. It's a really cool ability. I think it's just dripping with theme. Unfortunately, I feel it's a little bit too specific. The instances in which you're going to be able to get a lot of usage out of this particular card, I think, are very thin, and it's pretty much in the mirror match. Now, having said that, Web Warriors are in a lot of places right now, so it's not unforeseen that you're going to see them on the table. But I think it's a hard ask to make this into your 10, much less your 5. Granted, when you do get to make use of it, you probably could get some really nice use out of it. I just think the edge case is just so razor thin, and there's other cards that you can use that are just better off for it. So where does that leave Ben Reilly? Well, we know he's a web warrior, so he goes fine there. I think there's actually a lot of other places that he fits rather well. He's not a huge damage dealer, but he has some really nice aspects of control between his impact webbing and his web whip. Those are both really nice ways of sort of displacing enemy characters. Same with Proportionate Strength of the Spider. If you have enough power, you could theoretically be displacing 4 characters through his suite of abilities. Did I say 4? Sorry, 5 power. If you have 5 power, you could do it 4 times. Through 2 impact webbings, a web whip, and a Proportionate Strength of the Spider. That is a lot of displacement that he has available to him, which is really, really kind of cool. Now, granted, there is size restrictions on these, but with most of the characters in the game being size 2 or size 3, you still have a lot of ability to displace things. And I mean, his web whip, it's very important to note that it is size agnostic. It does not care about what size your target is. So you can displace a Hulk with it. You can't get a Sentinel because they ignore special pushes by special abilities there, or superpowers rather, I should say. So Scarlet Spider brings a lot of really good stuff to the table. So I think a lot of factions can actually really make good use of them. I already want to try him around in the Midnight Suns. I think he could be really fun there. And just in some other factions where, playing around with where enemy characters are could be really cool for him. So I think he actually has a home in quite a few places. He's not terribly power hungry. I don't think you should always be aiming for whatever Spider can. I think the rest of his suite is just really good on its own, and whatever Spider can is really what you dig it out when you need to do a little bit more damage to an enemy character. Otherwise, I think Impact Webbing is probably his go-to ability, and things like Web Whip or his Proportionate Strength of a Spider. Again, those are what he wants to be spending his powers on. If you have the power to do whatever a Spider can as well, awesome, cool, go for it. If you have 10 power, you can do whatever Spider can twice, or you can do it once plus a Web Whip and a Proportionate Strength. So you can really get some good stuff out of there. So really kind of cool in that regard. Overall, my opinion on him, I dig him. I think Ben Reilly is really cool. This is kind of what I wish Corebox Spidey looked like from day one. It is unfortunate that Scarlet Spider, in my opinion, just kind of overshadows Corebox Spidey in a lot of regards. So it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. I mean, obviously, Core Spidey still has the long movement over Scarlet Spider does, but it is what it is. So that is Scarlet Spider Ben Reilly. General opinions, like him a lot. I think he's a really cool addition to the game. I'm really excited about getting him onto the table and getting him into some battle reports. Share your thoughts below as well. Let me know what you think about him, where you think he's going to work well and go good and all that sort of great stuff. And let's get that conversation going. Until next time, happy wargaming.